Hello folks, welcome to the Virtual Realms YouTube channel. I'm Ranger1. Today I have a subscriber replay turned in by a player named Swampy Buttlegs. Yes, that's right. He's from Australia. This replay though is actually from the perspective of another subscriber of mine that turns in a lot of good replays, Infernos. This battle is going to take place in Berlin with lower tier vehicles. And I thought it captured a very nice, very poignant feel to this battle. Swampy and Infernos will work together remarkably well in this match, fending off unexpected threats with a high degree of precision. When I first saw this replay, and it ran its course on the remarkably well done Berlin map, I couldn't help but picture it in my head as sort of an alternate history. What if the final battles of the war had been waged with tanks and technology that the war started with? How would it have played out? Early German machines of war had a pretty marked advantage, technologically speaking, over their opponents. And that advantage remained until they ran into the T-34s when attempting their invasion of Russia. But even if time had, technologically at least, stood still, they would still be facing overwhelming odds by this point in the war. A never-ending stream of men and supplies, machines of war pouring toward their stronghold in Berlin. Well, I call it a stronghold, and indeed by then it was, but more to the point, it was their home. This was their heartland. If this fell, there was nothing left. Their country would be completely and utterly defeated. And the remarkable part of that is they knew that it was going to fall. They probably had known for a couple of years, but yet they still fought on. Really, what choice did they have? The right and the wrongs of this war aside, these were still men in the trenches, good men just like you and I, that are looking at a homeland that has been decimated by the ravages of war. Look around at your own hometown and picture it looking like this. What would you do? And the irony of it is, they know that despite how well this particular battle may go, ultimately, they will be overwhelmed. What a horrible position to be in. The last few remaining veterans with significant combat experience waging a desperate defense against overwhelming odds. This is not a defense of Nazi Germany. This is simply a tribute to the men, the common men, fighting in the trenches. Men who had little choice, unless they wanted to be labeled deserters. Men who were fighting to protect what little bit they had left. It's now time to push over to the other bank. Swampy is already leading the way across the bridge. They have, between the two of them, managed to completely blunt the force of the enemy offensive against their base of operations and are now leading an assault on the enemy's base, the B capture point in this map. Infernos is going to quickly move to back up his teammate, and they move into the heart of the enemy defenses. They know that the enemy is deeply dug in on this side of the river, but they have punched a hole in the defensive line, and they need to use the heavy armor of their Stoogs to exploit the opening that they have created. They are, for all intents and purposes, the tip of the spear. And the success of this attack will depend entirely on their actions. If they turn to the right, they catch the enemy somewhat unawares. There's an M3 Lee over there that has spotted them and opened fire, but they concentrate their firepower upon the front of the American tank, and it is destroyed. The BT-7 seems unaware, dealing with other adversaries still across the river. He turns, but it's too late. In unison, they will turn to deal with the final defender of the enemy base, along with a Panzer III. They'll concentrate their firepower, and the Panzer III manages to put in the final blow. As they move forward to secure the base, other elements of their team sweep around them in a pincer movement and head toward the enemy's spawn point on this map, in effect cutting off any hope the enemy may have of mounting a successful counterattack, at least in this battle. At this point, both Swampy and Infernos are both at 5 kills. They have completely dominated this battle from start to finish. The enemy isn't completely finished, though. They will drop artillery on this position and almost take Infernos out, setting him on fire and forcing him to take swift action to avoid burning up. For all intents and purposes, this battle is now over. Even if the enemy team were able to approach, the defensive position of the German team is just too strong. Hopefully, despite my incessant babbling throughout this replay, I hope that you were able to get some sense of just how well Infernos and Swampy worked together in this match. It was masterfully done. A pair of Stoogs working together at this tier and on this map are a force to be reckoned with. So consider this brief but excellent replay to be a bit of a cautionary tale. Regardless of the level of technology or the weapons used, the outcome of World War II would very likely have been the same no matter what. And we would all do well to keep in mind as we stand in front of our ballot boxes or whatever method you use to choose the leadership of your country. Choose well. Because as the German military and civilian populace found out to their dismay, the reality of this world is you will be the ones to reap what they sow. Thanks, Swampy and Infernos, for turning in the replay. And to the rest of you, until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.